everyone, this is Shadow the Rat, and in today's video I want to go over some of the terms associated with fancy rats. Now first of all, I want to go over the term fancy rat because a lot of people think that it refers to a rat like Cookie, who is top-eared and who has a black hood. However, the term fancy here simply means that the rat is a domestic animal. When you see the word fancy in front of an animal's name, that just means that they're domestic. So that's why we have fancy mice and why pet shops will sometimes label hamsters as fancy hamsters. Even if your rat has Dumbo ears like my boy Marshmallow, as you're going to see, or even if they have a Rex coat, they're still fancy rats. It doesn't matter what they look like. As long as they are domesticated brown rats, you would call them fancy rats. Okay, so now I've moved on to my boy Marshmallow, and as you can see, he is a Dumbo rat. And that simply means that his head is a bit wider and his ears are on the side of his head instead of on top of his head. So that is the only difference between Dumbos and the rat you just saw, who is a top-ear Cookie. There is no difference in temperament, no difference in health. A lot of people will claim that Dumbo rats are more mild, more calm, but as you'll see now, that just isn't the case. It might have once been the case when breeders were the only ones who had this mutation. As some of you might know, Dumbo is a recessive gene, meaning that you need two pairs of it in order for it to manifest itself like this. If you breed a Dumbo rat to a Dumbo rat, you're always going to get 100% Dumbo babies. If you breed a top-eared rat to a Dumbo rat or a top-eared rat to a top-eared rat, if you get Dumbo babies is going to depend on if they carry the Dumbo gene or not. Oftentimes, Dumbo rats like Marshmallow here will actually have top-eared rats in their litter because, again, it's a recessive gene. So if one of their parents is a carrier and is a top-eared rat, or both of them are just carriers, then you're likely to have at least a few top-eared rats in the litter along with your Dumbos. So yeah, Dumbo definitely doesn't refer to anything other than just the aesthetic trait of having ears on the side of the head, having a wider head like I said. People seem to think that Dumbo ears make a rat different from top-eared rats, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that a lot of pet shops will actually separate them. The reason they do this though is just because they know Dumbo ears are considered a desirable trait, and because of that, people are willing to pay a few more dollars for a Dumbo-eared rat. So yeah, are you getting yogurt up your nose? Jeez. But yeah, basically pet stores are just taking advantage of people's lack of knowledge. You can definitely keep Dumbo and top-eared rats together. They are the exact same species. They're both just domesticated rats. There's nothing different about them, other than appearance, obviously. And the last thing I want to go over is if there's any difference between where you get your rats and the rats themselves. So a lot of people think that because you get your rat from a feeder bin, that means they're either not fancy rats or they have something different about them, but no, that's just not the case. Again, like I said before, any domestic rat is going to be a fancy rat. Espresso here is actually a rat from a feeder bin, so that means she was bred to be, well, someone's lunch, to be honest. And that doesn't mean that she's not a domestic rat. She very much is, as you can see. Feeder rats can come in all sorts of colors, coat variety, ear variety, and so on. And the reason is because, well, first of all, they're being bred indiscriminately, meaning that you get weird matchups and you can get different colors and different coats and so forth. And the other reason is because a lot of feeder breeders are also hobby rat breeders. They are trying to improve temperament, they might be trying to breed for a certain coat color, and so forth. So yeah, fancy rats are just all domestic rats. Feeder rats are just rats who are bred to be food. They don't have any difference from pet store rats who are also kind of bred indiscriminately. And they all make really good pets, and they can all have different personalities. So yeah, appearance does not dictate personality. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. So hopefully it was informative. As you can see, Espresso is kind of living up to her name. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down below in the comments. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, and I will see you next time. Bye! Oh, she's so cute. Look at her.